Welcome to the Blue Collar Nation podcast, the podcast dedicated to making the lives of home service professionals better. Now join Eric and Larry to talk about all things home service.
Hey, it's Larry from Super Tech University, and we are here on the Super Profit community, and we're excited to see everybody. We have a bunch of people in the Zoom room, and we have a bunch of people in the Facebook world. Eric's not with me today. He's doing a presentation at one of our retreats with Katie. If you ever want to get information on the retreats, they do a 2-day deep dive in Utah and right outside Salt Lake City. So they're doing some cool stuff there. But today, our mission here with this presentation at SuperTech University is to help you as an owner, entrepreneur, run your business more successfully, more profitable, with more sanity, especially by having a great team around you. We suggested, I was just talking to Christina and somebody else, if you don't have a team around you, you can get a team around you. Many people, if Eric and I can do it, everybody starts somewhere, hiring that first person. Sometimes if you hire a whole person, you get another person. It happens 10 times until you find the right person. But you can't give up on it, okay? What we're presenting here today, it's not theory, it's practice and business skills you can implement in your company because we've done all this stuff. Okay, Eric and I ran a service company for more than 10 years, sold the company. We found some really cool practices that we want to pass along to you so you don't have to struggle, kind of like we did for years. We did a lot of coaching, but there was a lot of struggling. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. That's my little intro, but I want to share this with you folks. I made a little slideshow presentation. If everybody doesn't have Canva, get Canva because Canva is an amazing tool that we use all the time. I wish it was available to us when we had our service business to share with different people when we did presentations. Anyway, so this is Eric and I. Get a cool backdrop, big old flag. I said, yep, this is perfect. We got to use this. We use this for everything that we possibly can. What I was talking about a moment ago are all these business skills lead up to business is an extreme sport. Whether you have a company with 500 people or you have one person, it's a bit of a challenge. Okay. And that's where the better off you are at these things, the better off you'll be at these things. What's up, Byron? How are you today? People are coming in the room. Okay. Anyway, I wonder why that picture isn't coming up. Success is boring, but boring work creates an exciting future. And this is a picture of a guy working and being really bored. Because as entrepreneurs, the boring work is the part that turns the needle. And that's what we have found most in our business. And while we're doing things, I'm going to use a lot of examples. And I don't know why the picture's up here, but I'm going to move along. Now, these things, right? Following up with leads, training employees, running meetings, training, tracking numbers, making sales calls, improving systems, creating consistent content regularly, repeating offers. Stuff you got to do in business, but it's not the most exciting part of business, right? You got to do them all and you get to them, but it's not the first thing that you're shooting for, okay? But the new software, the new marketing, the new business idea, the new product, the new strategy, the new hire, the new opportunity, you're like, woo, this stuff is cool. This is why we became entrepreneurs. But we pass by the boring stuff to do the exciting stuff. And that's part of the challenge. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Okay? You want a capable team around you to do so you could do the amazing things. A capable team around you that's amazing. I'm sorry. Say this properly, because they're going to do the things you don't want to do. All those things I was just putting up there. You want to do the fun things and you want somebody else on your team to do the things that aren't as fun. That they're probably better at them for you as well. I didn't talk about that at all. When you hire somebody, train them to do these things and they're happy to do them. Christy, who's on this call, she does all the things I used to do and she's better at them than me. And I do the fun things, the presentations, create the slide decks, talk to people, sell things, the things that I like to do. Okay. Maybe you like doing those things in the beginning and you don't like doing the things on the second slide. Find out what you like to do and what you don't like to do and get people to do that for you. Okay. You have a capable team around you, makes it much easier. Train your team to do the things you don't want to do forever. And when I use this forever, you don't have to do them anymore. If you have a great system, you can replicate it so other people can do these things. Christy's doing things that I don't want to do. She's going to give them to somebody else real soon so that she doesn't have to do them. She's going to do more cool things, right? We just have to go through the boring process of making the systems so that these processes that we don't want to do and that are boring are behind us, or they're done correctly every single time. If you do them correctly every single time and you have a system behind you, they're easy to replicate. They're easy for somebody else to do. Okay, but it's boring making them and doing them, right? Business owners get bored long before the systems start working. That's what I'm talking about. We get distracted, and that's where the problem happens, okay? Can anybody agree with me here? Anybody in the room? Give me a thumbs up or a yeah or bada bing or something, because, or in Facebook land, give me some thumbs up. Because I learned this years ago and it didn't register until recently. And I was thinking about it, like, man, wish I was better at the boring things. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, OJ. Um, and like OJ says, he's doing all kinds of things, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we'll get to that in just a second. But the less things you prioritize, the most important things you want to do, and you get them done, and then you can do the things that you like to do. Okay. But this is a problem. We let ourselves get distracted. You let yourself. Okay. I shouldn't have said that. We let ourselves get distracted because I do the same thing as well. It's human nature. And the better we get doing the systems, training the team, and not be distracted, the more successful we're going to be. Okay. The work that grows the business is usually the work you're most tempted to avoid. OJ's here, and he was just saying, I'm busy, I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm just using you as an example, OJ, because I'm that way all the time. Prioritize the things you want to do so that you don't avoid them. Because if you don't prioritize them, you're just going to start leaning towards all the things that you like to do that are easy, that are more fun, that are not as difficult and as challenging. But if you put a system around them, and you address the boring things and you do the boring things, you're going to get more success. Okay. So has anybody read this book, The War of Art? That's the book I was just looking for. Stephen Pressfield talks about oh my gosh, this is terrible. I'm going to have to fix this. The resistance. He talks about the resistance. I just fixed this right before we came on here. Okay. The resistance is something that is really true. We can see it in ourselves. I use OJ or any of us again. Who was doing something before they came on this call? And they're like, I'm going to distract myself. I just walked across the street a few minutes ago, got a cup of coffee. I had 2 calls to make. I said, yeah, I'll do them after I do the presentation. But I knew as I was saying that I should have done those calls. I didn't do them. The resistance was get the cup of coffee, was to not do it. And it got a hold of me. The challenge. But I did beat the resistance by practicing this presentation for you folks for a good hour or so before we came on. I hope it shows, because I usually don't, and I bumble through it. So I'm hoping that practicing this is going to make this come off better. I mean, obviously I missed a letter in the resistance. I'll miss things. We're always going to miss things. I don't mind admitting that I miss things. I'm going to miss a whole lot less by practicing and not letting the resistance get to me. I did the boring. I did the practice. Okay. Now, all these other things that you folks probably have to do with your service business, which I did in my service business. Truck inspections don't happen. Training gets skipped. Estimates aren't sold. Receivables aren't called because those take time. And you let yourself get easily distracted from these things. And that's where the problems happen. By not doing the things that keep the train on the tracks, slows you down and takes you away from success, takes you away from reaching your goals, takes you away from reaching your benchmarks on a regular basis. Okay, we mistake motion for progress. Okay, activity versus accomplishment. And I could go on that all day long. And if you guys listen to Eric and I a lot, Eric talks about this all the time. We mistake activity for accomplishment. You can check off 100 things on your checklist, but did you get anything accomplished? You're busy all day. Yeah, oh, you're busy. You are so busy doing things. But what did you accomplish? What moved the needle? What moved you towards your goals? What created more profitability? What made your business go into a direction where you had people working around you to do the things you didn't want to do? That's where accomplishment is. What did you accomplish? Not what what you did. What did you get accomplished that made a difference? And I'll probably do something on that next week. Eric might be back. I might take this away from him. He does a good job, but um, anyway, executing the same strategy for the 100th time is what actually produces results. As long as that strategy is going to get you towards your goal. If the strategy of doing things that you have to do every day, are you looking at your reports every day? Are you documenting what needs to be documented? Are you paying all your bills the way they're supposed to be paid? Are you are you looking at your profitability every single day or every single week or when you're supposed to? Are you doing the things that are going to move the needle? Are you building strategic systems and people around these things so these boring things can happen around you? What are the things that are boring and not exciting for you? Are you having systems around them so you have people that can do them? I'm just reinforcing this over and over because it's like reading the E-Myth. Has everybody read the E-Myth? It hurts to read the E-Myth because he talks about things that we should be doing all the time. And all of a sudden we realize we're not. And it hurts reading it. It's miserable. But when you start doing those things, you start seeing more success, you start having more systems, and you're much more fulfilled in your business. That's what you want to do, is you want to be fulfilled in your business. Okay? See, I saw a comment come in the chat just a second ago. Christina says yes. Thank you, Christina. I didn't see that. Probably should have been right in front of me. The only way to win is to do the obvious things for an uncomfortably long period of time. And I didn't talk about this in the beginning. Alex Hormozy is a guy. I don't know if anybody knows who Alex Hormozy is. I saw him do a rant on this. And if you look him up, he does a really good, I should put a link in the chat for what he was talking about. And he's very eloquent about what he says. Doing the obvious things for an uncomfortable long period of time makes them easier, and you can put a system around them. You don't skip the obvious things that need to be done. And the next question is, how often do we skip these things? We're all guilty of it. Skip them less, and you'll get so much more accomplished. Guilty of it all the time as well. Okay. And then these are the things, again, another list of what you should be doing. Are you doing daily team meetings, consistent training, role playing, reviewing numbers every week, coaching employees, creating and following documents and processes, having difficult conversations quickly with your team so that things don't get sideways? You get to them before they go sideways. Are you holding your people accountable? All these things are not exciting, right? But we look at the shiny objects. Again, maybe we need more leads. Maybe we need different employees. Maybe we need another manager. Maybe we need more AI. Maybe we need new software. Woo! That's where the distractions get a hold of us. And we don't get done what needs to be done, the boring and the necessary, right? And what we need, I'm going to do a little soft plug for SuperTech University. 10 minutes of training every day, SuperTech University with your team. That moves the needle. All of our clients tell us all the time. It moves the needle. You get their team trained up. They have less fires to put out. It goes better. Okay. You have clear expectations. Weekly coaching. Are you doing weekly coaching? These are other things outside of SuperTech University. Repetition until behaviors change, and accountability. Now, this is something I want to talk about real quick about repetition. People complain, I got to tell my team things over and over and over. But this is what I was thinking about earlier, and I wanted to test it out and share it with you. When you repeat yourself to your team, you have many opportunities, instead of complaining about it, to improve your delivery of what you need done. You need to explain it in deeper ways. You need to reference a SuperTech University. Do you need to say it in a different way? Do you need to pull somebody aside and sit down and talk to them for about a half hour about it? Do you need to discipline them? Will that be more effective? Because you repeat things so many times, you have many opportunities to improve the effectiveness of what you're delivering to your team. We try and take that away with SuperTech University by telling everybody why it's important or why it needs to be done, and it helps dramatically. But you get asked things, it's not going to eliminate it 100%. You want to maximize your opportunities, maximize your delivery when you're talking to your team. I hope that's helpful. Okay, that was one of my concepts I came up with. By doing all these things, you create less stress, better employees, more profit, fewer calls, and check it out, everything we want. More freedom. We all want more freedom. That's the idea. Now, I have this quote. I sent it out the other day, and I want to share it with everybody. We overestimate what we can get done in a day. We underestimate what we can get done in a year. And my pastor, Jen, this wonderful woman, she's like 5 foot, who knows? She wears these heels, but she does a wallop of a sermon. And I wrote it down, and I went and talked to her about it afterwards. You overestimate what you can do in a day. You pack as much as you can in a day, but you don't realize if you plan for that year and you set up the whole year, you can get so much more done in a year. So you overestimate what you can do in a day, you underestimate what you can get done in a year. Planning, systems, training. Think of what you've done in this past year. What did you get accomplished? You can only see the last couple of days. Look at the whole year. What could you have done? And what can you do in the whole year moving forward if you just plan it out and overestimate what you can do in the year? Fill that year with strategic plans of boring activities that are going to get you where you need to be. And I've been using this quote so many times in my head. Okay? And the whole thing is hold yourself accountable. That's the most important thing. If you don't hold yourself accountable, nobody's going to hold yourself accountable.
Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Nation podcast. For more information about Eric and Larry and SuperTech University, please visit us at supertechu.com. That is supertechu.com.